There you have it, folks. On this episode, we're going to be talking a few things about how to protect yourself from scams, contractors, and who to reach out to see if you can get some help. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. So as you know it, we've been kind of trying to stay online here to try to catch or watch out for scammers, roofing contractors that are not licensed in the state of Florida. Time and time again, I keep seeing these articles that keep coming out, and we keep seeing guys coming from Texas, Georgia, Alabama, whatever state they come from. If they're not licensed, there's got to be a way that you guys need to check and make sure that you are protected. The biggest problem is that people don't know how to go about checking for things, and few tools that the state of Florida has. And I know it's kind of difficult, and I wish there was some sort of organization or a phone number that people could call out to. And I know sometimes the news media would have some 1-800 numbers or some number that they can call people to verify that these contractors are licensed and they're practicing and they're insured and everything else in the state of Florida. I know a lot of the times FEMA deals with specialized contractors that they get their certification or their license in the state of Florida to operate and help. You have to watch out for these individuals. Now, there is one simple tool. If you go to the myfloridalicense.com, you can go to the DBPR section and you can search by name or by license number. If you have a contractor that has given you their contact information and their license information, you can go to this website and you can punch in their information. Now, that's just superficial. That's just the first step of trying to verify if these guys have a license and they can practice in the state of Florida. Now, I did come across a really nice article that gave you some point-by-point ways to watch out for when you have people that are scammers. Obviously we can't protect ourselves as much as we wish we could. We got to take there's got to be some level of trust. But here's a couple of highlights on this one article, which I think I found a very interesting. Few things to watch out for when it comes to signs of home improvement scams. How can you tell if a contractor might not be reputable? Here are some tactics scammers use. Scammers knock on your door to look for business because they are in the area. And I've actually seen this. I remember when we got hit here in Pensacola with Ivan, we saw a lot of trucks, a lot of vehicles, a lot of guys driving in. I had one guy came in and he says he would help cut the trees in the area if we paid him cash. Obviously, we could tell right off the bat that this guy was not licensed. He was not insured. He was just looking for some extra money and try to make some money in the area because of the catastrophe that just occurred. He was able to get in here and help out. It wasn't right away that he arrived, but I mean, the issues with or the impact that a hurricane has in a community, it doesn't just last for a couple days, it lasts for months. So we had issues in many of the houses in this neighborhood. Actually, even today, we're still seeing blue roofs on a lot of houses, and we've seen the prices of constructions skyrocket to the point where it's just ridiculous to get a roof redone. Here's another thing the scammers usually say. They have materials left over from a previous job. That's usually a bad sign. Don't ever I know a lot of people want to save some money, but sometimes you save 20 cents and you end up spending $20. Pressure you to immediately make a decision. That's another tactic. They ask to pay for everything up front or only accept cash. Don't. That's a red flag if I've ever seen one. Ask you to get any required building permits. A lot of the times, that's what you get from scammers. There's a lot of people out there that do legitimate work. They're just subcontract, and the law does allow you to pull your own permit and then sub-hire contractors. Now, there are different jurisdictions, but most of the jurisdictions that allow you to pull your own permits tell you to also fill out a notice of commencement. And if there's ever a contractor that's doing work on your property to make sure that they're either listed on the forms or you file those documentations into the city or the county, whichever jurisdiction they're associated with you. Now, when it comes to Fort Myers, Naples area, Cape Coral, you may have to deal with the city or you may have to deal with the county. So how you go about doing that, I may have to kind of cover that as part of this portion. But from what I understand, you guys are in Lee County, but we'll double check on that just to make sure we can help you guys in some form or fashion. They'll suggest to borrow money from a lender they know. I don't know about that. Here's another things here. How to avoid a home improvement scam. Here are some tips to help protect yourself and your money. Consider only contractors who are licensed and insured. Check with your state or county government to confirm their licenses as contractors for proof of insurance. And you can also, once you get proof of insurance, you can also call the insurance company and verify that insurance is legitimate. Again, if the first place that we typically go to, this is the state. I'm going to see if I can pull up as part of this video. I'll have to edit the video just to kind of see if I can get access to Lee County. Sometimes you can get roofers that are certified in the county that they work at. Santa Rosa, Escambia, this is sort of the counties that we're here close to us here that we live in the Panhandle. So some roofers are certified roofers just in that county that they've been licensed. There's also state licensing, and then there's jurisdictional licensing. So get contractors recommendations from people you know and trust. Always that would be your first point of contact when you've seen somebody, they've done some good work for them, and they can recommend them to you, and that it probably usually helps to word of mouth. Check with the local home builder association and consumer protection officials. Now, that is like a difficult situation right there to try to figure out who it is that you need to call. The numbers are not readily available online, so you're gonna have to do a little digging. We may be able to find something and kind of share with you guys down there in your county that you're dealing with, the Fort Myers area. We'll see if we can find something online. Let's see. Get multiple estimates. Always try to get multiple estimates. Don't always go with the first one. Read the contract carefully. There's a few things to make sure that's on the contract: the contractor's name, address, phone number, license number, an estimated start and completion date, any promises made during conversation and call related to issues such as scope of work and cost of labor and materials, a written statement of your rights to cancel the contract within 3 business days if you sign it in your home or at location other than the seller's permanent place of business. So that, little things. And make sure all blank spaces are filled in. Don't pay the full amount for the project up front. Some states actually limit the amount of money a contractor can ask for as a down payment. Contact your state local consumer agency. Better Business Bureau will probably be one of them. And then find out the law in your area, and never make the final payment until the work is done and you're satisfied with it. So that's it. And it's difficult for as much as it is. Sometimes these guys appear legitimate and then they pressure you into paying them. It is up to the owner to make sure that it is your right to make sure that the job's done right. And if they're pulling permits, and a lot of the times what happens with situations like a hurricane, catastrophes of such, a lot of the times the county is overwhelmed with the whole permitting process, and they allow what they call self permitting or self repair situations where they allow the contract licensed individual to be held responsible for the work that needs to be done. And again, it goes back to, can you trust those people, and are they going to be around? Are they legitimate to the state? Sometimes they'll give you a phone number, and it could be a temporary phone number, like a cell phone that they buy. They'll answer all the phone calls, do all the repairs. But all of a sudden, a year from now, when you're having leaks, you got no one to call, and you're gonna have to find a local licensed contractor to verify if they can fix your roof after the fact. So a lot of the times, insurance companies, their hands are tied. They think they're doing good, but they really aren't. They don't know any better. And there's always this mistrust. Of course, there's a big conversation about that, but it's like it's happened to people here in the area where the insurance says that there's no need for you to replace the roof in some cases, and in some others, you got the roofers and they're telling you there's complete damage to the roof, and there's the difference of opinion. And a lot of the times, you end up having to get a third party appraiser that comes in, and sometimes they'll help you get the money that you need from the insurance companies, which is one of the things that the insurance companies don't want to do. The insurance companies are not here to help you. I mean, for as much as they say that they are, they're not here to help you. They're here to make sure that their investors get their money. So, like in any business. So, there are a few tools. I know that in Escambia County, there's forms that you need to fill out, and I'm sure that also in different jurisdictions there are also forms. This is a notice of commencement which you fill out, and you can kind of see you have to put some information in there to make sure that the contractors, the lender, you sign. You have to have to notarize. That's one form. There's also, here's the biggest thing that people try to figure out. Once you got a scammer that comes in, takes half your money, doesn't show up, never finishes the job, what do you do? If you didn't get a chance, or nobody informed you about filling out a notice of commencement to do the work, you kind of are in a difficult situation, because if you go to the state of Florida, myfloridalicense.com, and you try to file what they call, I'm going to go back in reverse. It says the Florida Homeowners Construction Recovery Fund claim form. It's a form that you fill out, and there's a few things that this form has. If you take a moment to read it, there's one that's really critical. It says, for one thing, it says construction contract was not entered into with a licensed contractor. It says a person is not qualified to make a claim from the fund if the contractor that did the work wasn't even licensed in the state of Florida. So that you can't fill that form out. So you couldn't even try to see if we can get some money back from the fund, because somebody didn't finish the job. So that's one thing. So that's important. And we go back to this website where you can kind of verify that. And I'm going to kind of leave this portion of the video to that. I'm going to do a little research, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I wanted to do a quick little thing. I did a quick little search online, and what I did is I went to lee.gov.com, and this is Lee County, and I was trying to figure out, Fort Myers, what county it was located. So it's Lee County. So what I did is, and I'm going to try to see if I can post this on my link down below, to see to help you guys out. And I know it's difficult. They have a few numbers you can call, 239-533-8895. I don't know how easy it would be for you guys to access that. And from what I'm seeing, and I just went to their contractor's licensing, it appears that it is coming. This says they're going to phase out contractors' local licensing, and it looks like the Lee County Board of County Commissioners has approved a plan to phase out local licensing consistent with HB 735, which I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you guys can do a little research and dig into it. It appears that all local licenses will expire June 30th, 23, and will not be renewed, which means that they may end up deferring to the state licensing requirements. Because from what I understand, you can be a certified contractor in your county or in various counties that you particularly work at, but you don't have to be licensed in the state of Florida, which apparently that's what they're going to go away from, and they're instructing their contractors that that's what they're going to have to do. So effective July 1st, 2020, to perform work in unincorporated Lee County, contractors must have a state issue license. Prior to July 1st, 2020, a contractor must have a current certificate of insurance for liability and workers' compensation and or a current workers' compensation exemption status with the state of Florida. The only way you can get an exemption status, I believe, is if you're the only person working. You're the owner of the company. You're the only person working. And I don't know the fine details on that. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research as far as contracting. That's not my forte, but I can tell you where to go and who to call. Here's another thing on this same page I was just kind of looking at. it says that you can actually go look up active contractors, and then there's a building and permitting services I guess you can click on. So if you went to the active contractors, they may give you a search for roofing, gas, electrical. So this is a great. So if you went to roof contractors, here's a list you can pull up. And again, I'm going to try to see if I can leave this on my information down below, and you guys can just try to click on it. And I know I don't have a big amount of followers, but try to share this as best you can with anybody you know. And again, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll try to see if I can share some more information with you guys, to try to help you guys out when it comes to these catastrophes and anything related to real estate, architecture, and construction. So stay tuned, be careful. I'll say a prayer for everyone, and see you in the next one.